you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, welcome back to The Bright Side, friends. We're continuing talking about the ketogenic diet, the eat fat, get healthy diet. I love that idea. Eat fat, get healthy. And by getting healthy, I'm talking about losing weight. I'm talking about having more energy, building muscle, fighting cancer, lowering your blood sugar, reducing the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease and Bell's palsy and other neurological disorders, including seizure disorders, which was what the ketogenic diet was first developed for. Who's going to benefit from ketosis? Anyone who's overweight, anyone who has type 1 or type 2 diabetes, anyone who has cancer, anyone who's dealing with heart disease or any neurological disorder, any digestive disorder, and that includes Crohn's disease and gastritis and cirrhosis and hepatitis, anyone who's got respiratory problems, anyone who's got an inflammatory condition. Pretty much we just covered most people. Pretty much we just covered everybody. That means everybody benefits from the ketogenic diet. The ketogenic diet is an energy diet. It provides the body with generous amounts of the cleanest and densest form of food energy, the fats. In the world of nutrition, you've got two kinds of nutrients. You've got your macronutrients and your micronutrients. Your macronutrients, protein, fats, and carbs, are storage forms of energy. They're like logs. Your micronutrients, your vitamins and minerals, they activate the energy. They're like sparks. They turn on the energy system. The logs, the fats and the carbs and the protein, are potential energy. And of all the various forms of potential energy, fats are the densest form. Fats contain trapped energy. Scientists call it potential energy. Food fats are very similar to the kind of stuff that runs our cars and our lawnmowers and our factories. The Industrial Revolution was fueled by fats in the form of fossil fuels. And when it comes to our modern way of life, it's all about energy. When it comes to life itself, it's all about energy. When it comes to health and the effective operation of the body, it's all about energy. Disease is a lack of energy phenomena. Health is an abundance of energy phenomena. And you can think of this energy, at least from a biological perspective or a health perspective, as the life force. And that means you can think of the energy that's trapped in fats as life energy, a manifestation of the life force. Potential, yes, but it is still a manifestation in a potential format of this life force. Fats are nature's most powerful source of this life force. They carry the life force in a more concentrated form than the other two forms of energy, carbs and protein. This life force that's in the body, or that's in food for that matter, has gone by many names. We call it ki, or chi, or elan vital. The Greeks called it pneuma. The Hindus called it prana. The alchemists called it quintessence. Catholics and Jesuits called it the Holy Spirit. Dr. Wilhelm Reich called it orgone energy. Whatever its name is, the main point is this: the life force is the livingness of our body. It's what gives our body the ability to move. If you've ever seen a dead body, the difference between a dead body and a live body is nothing more than this life force. The dead body looks different, yes, but it still has arms and legs and hands and feet and has everything we have, but it doesn't have that life force. And this life force is what gives us our physical well-being. And for that matter, it gives us our mental well-being. It is not in the body's true nature to be sick. It's not in the body's true nature to be low energy, yet that is the way most of us live. It's in the body's nature to be high energy. It's in the body's nature to heal and renew and rest and relax and jump and move effortlessly. Yet how many of us can say we live this way? Very few of us, at least very few of us adults. When we're young, we've got this life force in spades. But as we get older, and it doesn't take very long to get older, I'm talking in our late 20s and early 30s, this life force starts to diminish. And this is the precedent of the disease state, the diminishment of the life force. And by the way, if our life force is diminishing, you can rest assured that we're somehow not living in our bodies, that we've withdrawn from our bodies into our minds and into our brains. And this is a very fundamental idea when it comes to health. The mental nature versus the physical nature. The Greeks called it psyche versus soma. The mental nature is our psyche. And most of us live in our psyche. We don't live in our soma. We don't live in our bodies. We don't inhabit our bodies. We don't respect our bodies. We couldn't smoke. We couldn't eat McDonald's. We couldn't drink alcohol. We couldn't take prescription drugs if we really lived in and listened to and respected our somas, our bodies. Breathing activates or sparks up the soma. Feeding sparks up the soma. Movement sparks up the soma. This is one of the reasons why paying attention to the body, particularly paying attention to the breathing process, breathing with awareness, is such an important aspect of health. It's called mindfulness. Mindfulness is when you apply the mind to the body. Mindfulness can be applied to any physical activity, washing the dishes. Mindfulness can be applied to something, some unpleasant task. By applying mindfulness to unpleasant tasks, we make those tasks more enjoyable. Likewise with breathing. By applying mindfulness to breathing, we make breathing enjoyable. Breathing can be an incredible pleasure. Ask somebody who's got emphysema. If you ever couldn't breathe at night, we're all clogged up. You know how miserable that can be. Just something being as simple as being able to breathe in the evening when you're sleeping can be an amazingly pleasurable experience. If you want to check out our bone broth protein, go to brightsidehealth.com. Bone broth protein, of course, is a wonderful way to initiate ketogenesis, or get going on your ketogenic diet. The ketogenic diet being a high-fat, moderate protein diet. You got to make sure you're having enough protein no matter what you're doing, and you got to make sure you're going low carb if you're going to be using the ketogenic diet. Bone broth protein is not only tasty, but it's also a great source of amino acids for building connective tissue. 25% of the body or more is made up of connective tissue. If you're dealing with prolapses, prolapse uterus or prolapse bladder, perhaps, or if you're dealing with bone issues, osteoporosis or wrinkles, all of these are signs that your connective tissue is starting to break down. Very common. One of the best ways to build up your connective tissue is exercise, especially in the presence of connective tissue building proteins or amino acids. And that's where our bone broth protein comes in. Get yourself in the gym for a little bit. Don't have to do a lot. And then come home and do your bone broth protein. It tastes great, and it's a wonderful source of all the building nutrients, the nutrients that are important for building connective tissue, particularly amino acids, glucosamine, as well as high hyaluronic acid. Brightsidehealth.com. You find our chocolate and vanilla bone broth protein formulated by Jordan Rubin, by the way. All right, so we're talking the ketogenic diet. We're talking the life force. The ketogenic diet is a source of fat, is a way to get nature's densest source of energy. That is fats. When I say energy, think the life force. Of course, you need breathing to make the whole thing happen. Breathing is super, super, super important for activating the energy that's trapped in fats or anything, really. That's how energy is produced. All the energy in fats is potential energy, and then oxygen comes along and sparks it up. And when you pay attention to the breathing process, when you pay attention to anything, but especially when you pay attention to the breathing process, you breathe more effectively. When you pay attention to anything you're doing, you're going to do it more effectively. When it comes to breathing with awareness, with mindfulness is a key element when it comes to health. Key element. In fact, if we just breathed with awareness, we would notice our blood pressure was dropping. If we just breathed with awareness, we would notice we were more relaxed. If we just breathed with awareness, we would notice we were sleeping better. Breathing with awareness activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Breathing activates fats. Without oxygen, all that wonderful energy that is trapped in fats would be useless to us. That means without correct breathing, without deep, slow, powerful breathing, we won't be able to maximally leverage the power of the ketogenic diet. Fats by themselves are potential energy. They're sleeping. The energy has to be released for it to do us any good. And it's oxygen that sparks that energy, turning it into a biological fire. The energy in fats is dormant. It's asleep. Oxygen from breathing wakes it up. Fats plus oxygen equals energy release. And this is the key to understanding the importance of the breathing process. The ketogenic diet, the high-fat, low-carb diet, is an energy diet, and breathing is a key element of the energy process. It's the combination of energy that's locked up in foods, proteins and carbs, and particularly fats, as well as oxygen that energizes the body, that amps up the life force. If you're thinking, well, I should be breathing deeply while I'm eating, yes, you're right. Oxygen allows us to release energy from foods. We should be breathing deeply when we eat. This is one of the reasons why you don't want to eat in the car, why you don't want to eat at a business meeting, or why you don't want to eat when you're under stress. This is why you want to eat when you're relaxed. When you're relaxed, you're breathing better. When you're breathing better, you're relaxed. Oxygen is important for us to be able to access the energy from foods, and I sometimes wonder how much of our overeating epidemic, and we have an overeating epidemic, is due to the fact that we're not oxygenating while we're eating. Try it. If you'll notice that when you're oxygenating or paying attention to the oxygenation process as you're eating, that you're going to eat less food. You're going to be fuller, faster. And it's no accident, by the way, that both the ketogenic diet and oxygen are anti-cancer. Both the high-fat diet and oxygen, whether through breathing correctly or a hyperbaric oxygen chamber where they drive oxygen into your respiratory tract, they're both anti-cancer. Cancer only occurs when cells are not being energized. And cancer, I was just reading this, cancer has now overtaken heart disease as a leading cause of death in 12 European countries. Here's this article. Just read it this morning, actually. In this country, cancer is just slightly behind heart disease as a leading cause of death. This is from the European Heart Journal. Just came out on Monday. Cancer has now overtaken heart disease as the main cause of death in 12 European countries. And we always hear about how successful and how wonderful all our anti-cancer strategies are. Oh my God, we spend so much money on cancer and hardly any of the statistics have budged, except perhaps for the worse. Breathing is the ultimate example of our physical nature, of the soma. The breathing process is the most obvious manifestation of aliveness. And when we breathe consciously, when we pay attention to the mechanics and the dynamics of the inhalation and the exhalation, our attention is immediately placed on the body. And while our attention is placed on the body, while we're paying attention to our bodies, we are our bodies. We're in our bodies. We inhabit our bodies. And for most of us, just the idea of paying attention to the body will cause initiate the relaxation response. Just paying attention to it. If you have insomnia and you can't sleep, pay attention to something in the body. Pay attention to a body rhythm. Pay attention to some kind of movement or dynamism in the body, and you will find yourself beginning to relax. And if we do it long enough, not only will we find ourselves beginning to relax, we'll find ourselves beginning to feel better. And in terms of our eating behaviors, if we place our attention on our bellies rather than our brains, we're going to find ourselves eating better food and eating less of it. Overeating is a classic sign of eating from our mind, of eating mentally rather than physically. And because eating is a physical activity, this does not serve us. This is why we overeat. The mind is never satisfied. The body's satisfied with just a couple of bites. Eating because we think we should, or because something sounds good, or when we're depressed, or when we're triggered by something, this is a classic sign of, this is a classic precursor to being overweight, a classic precursor to weight gain. The fastest way to lose weight, on the other hand, and to overcome poor eating habits or to overcome eating addiction is to learn to place our attention, our awareness on our psyche, or on our soma, rather than our psyche, on our bodies, particularly on our bellies, rather than on our heads. When the opportunity to eat arises, or even while you're eating, try placing your attention, move your attention down to your belly. And you may not like it because you'll still have that big old plate filled with food, but you're not going to want to eat as much. And then you'll find your attention naturally goes up to your head because you want to eat. Eating is kind of a little trick that we play on ourselves, unfortunately. Not in the wild, not naturally. Lions don't trick themselves. Only human beings do because we're so darn smart. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Let's go to Irma in Michigan. Welcome to the bright side. Good morning. What's going on, Irma?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. What's cracking? How can we help you?
All right. Thank you. I just had open heart surgery recently.
Okay.
I'm a vegetarian.
Okay.
I want trying to wean off. I want to know how to wean off the drugs that I'm taking.
What are you on?
I did order
Furosemide? Yeah.
Eliquis.
Okay.
Spironolactone.
Okay.
And Tresto.
Vita.
Oh
my God. They're drugging you up pretty good. Though I don't want to hear any more of this horrible news. They're drugging you up pretty good.
Okay.
Here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. Your body is in duress right now, so you're going to have to do this very carefully. Did they do a bypass?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing, Irma. With all due respect, you've been mucking up the system for a long time. Okay, and I'm not saying this to beat you up. I'm saying this that you got to understand what we're dealing with here. For most folks, I would say get off the darn drugs and get on a nutritional program. But for you, I can't say that because your system is, you're like, you got a flat tire there, so to speak.
Okay.
You're not running on four wheels. So the medicine is keeping you in the game. It's not keeping you maximized. It's not keeping you at optimum health, but it's keeping you in the game. So what you have to do is you got to change your life. As much as I love my vegetarian friends, vegetarianism is not necessarily a healthy way to eat. I'm sorry to say. Because with vegetarianism, you eat a lot of grains, and you eat a lot of beans, and you eat a lot of foods that whack out your blood sugar. You follow me? So a soy burger, it's hard to say if it's better than a hamburger because they're both kind of crappy potentially. But if you do your hamburger right, it's way better for you from a physical perspective. If you do it right, I'm not talking about McDonald's, but if you do it right, it's way better for you than a soy burger, especially for your heart. Okay? So the problem, the foundation of heart disease is blood sugar problems. The foundation of all disease is blood sugar problems. So if you've been a vegetarian a long time and not doing it carefully and correctly, that is not doing the high carb foods and making sure that you get your B vitamins and your chromium, your vanadium, your selenium, your other nutrients, you could have been doing a lot of damage to yourself. So what I would be doing if I were you is going to the ketogenic diet immediately. For anybody with heart disease, have you heard us talking about the ketogenic diet? Lately,
yes, I did earlier.
Last couple of weeks, we've been talking about it for maybe a month now. The ketogenic diet is a heart-friendly diet, especially for people who have cardiomyopathy or who've had open heart surgery. So that means that's high fat. Now, your doctor's probably going to cringe when you tell them that. But ask him to read up on ketones. The heart runs on saturated fat. Ask your doctor if he knows that. He probably does. But maybe not. Do you know that your heart depends on saturated fat?
No.
Yeah, most people don't. So go ketogenic. That means more coconut oil, more lard, more butter, more eggs, all the kinds of foods they probably told you not to eat, by the way. Those are ketogenic foods, but you have to eat those foods in the presence or the lack of presence of carbohydrates. Low carb has to accompany high fat to go ketogenic. So go ketogenic, read up on the ketogenic diet, listen to the last few programs we've been talking about the ketogenic diet. Also make sure you're doing your fatty nutrients. You should be on your Ultimate EFA capsules, 9 a day. Make sure you're using vitamin E, 400 international units a day. Make sure you're using coenzyme Q10. I'd be doing 100 milligrams a day, maybe even 100 to 200 milligrams a day. Make sure you're doing magnesium from your OsteoFX or beyond OsteoFX. You want about 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of magnesium a day. Zero tolerance for sweets, desserts, fruit juice. Even fruits, you got to be very careful. If not zero tolerance, at least be very careful with fruits. Certainly anything with sucrose, that is table sugar, needs to be avoided. And it would probably be wise for you to do sugar metabolizing or sugar processing nutrients like niacin, the ultimate niacin from Longevity, as well as chromium and vanadium. All the B complex. Get on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, sip on it slowly, but all the B complex is important, as well as electrolytes. I'm giving you tons of stuff here, my dear.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Let me tell you a couple more things in the interest of other people listening. Okay. Arginine and taurine are two incredibly important amino acids for the heart and also for blood sugar. 500, anywhere from 200 to 500 milligrams or even up to a gram of taurine a day. And by the way, taurine is only found in animal food. So if you're a vegetarian, the odds are very good that you're missing taurine, or at least not getting enough, not making enough, or not getting enough. I'm not even sure if I think you can make taurine, but you're not getting enough taurine if you're a vegetarian unless you're supplementing. And arginine, about 1,000 milligrams a day of arginine. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, that's okay. I ordered and received the Healthy Heart and Brain Pack.
Okay. You need more than that, but that's a good start.
Okay, that won't interact with the medication, will it?
Yeah, it'll make the medication work better. It'll make you work better. Anybody who tries to tell you that the nutrition will somehow interact with medication doesn't understand the nature of nutrition. Nutrition makes your medicine work better. It makes your body clear the medicine out better, so you feel better, and it makes everything that you want the drugs to do work better. So anyway, I got to go, Irma. Thanks for your call. I hope we helped you out. Have a beautiful day. God bless you. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben from the journal PLOS Medicine, Public Library of Science Medicine. Check this out. The duration of overweight and obesity in women's lives is associated with cancer risk. That means if you're overweight and you're obese for a long period of time, you got a higher risk of cancer. And this is why the ketogenic diet is anti-cancer and anti-weight. Or it helps you lose weight anyway. I'm telling you guys, high fat is the way to go. High fat, low carb. Gotta say that. High fat, low carb. It's not just high fat. It's high fat, low carb. And actually, it's high fat, low carb, low calorie. High fat, low carb, low calorie. That's the way to go. Eat less food. Eat less carbs. Eat more fat. Make sure you're getting enough protein. It isn't that complicated. And don't fall for the baloney. Don't buy into the lie. Don't buy into the medical model. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's go to Mary in Michigan. Good morning. Welcome to The Bright Side.
Good morning, Ben. I'm calling you for some direction.
Yes.
I've spoken to you in the past about my digestive problems, and I work on it constantly. But I have developed a pattern, and I cannot figure out the cause of it, so I'm hoping you can give me some idea maybe where I should go.
Okay.
I have, for the past year, on the average of every other week, getting sick at my stomach and having, a lot of vomiting and some
awful.
Diarrhea with it usually.
Okay.
And
it only hang on, Mary.
Yeah.
It flares up every couple of weeks. You're saying it flares?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
and
good.
I mean,
Flares
it comes
are good.
on suddenly. It comes on very suddenly.
Suddenly to you. Nothing comes on suddenly to the body, but suddenly to you, and that's good because the flares are very important information. It means you're doing something. If something happens chronically all the time, it doesn't get worse or doesn't get better. It's harder to assess what it is. You can still assess what it is, but it's harder. Flares are your best friend when it comes to figuring out what's going on. So here's what you need to do. And now you're saying stomach, but I don't know if you really mean stomach. You mean your digestive system. You don't literally mean your stomach. Your stomach is located higher in the chest. The intestine is in the middle. Higher up in the chest is where the stomach is. So a lot of times we say stomach, but we mean intestine. So where do you feel?
That feels like where it's coming from.
From the center?
From the center, yeah.
Okay, then it could be stomach.
Very deep.
Deep and in the center part, not by your belly button.
Right.
Okay, good. It could be the stomach, but for some folks, they'll say stomach when they mean intestine. Anyway, stop eating, Mary. And by the way,
I have.
okay, you stop. I mean, zero food, nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
For 2 or 3 days, can you do it for 2 or 3 days?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then when you start eating again, write everything down. Are you doing that? A food diary?
I have been doing that, and there's nothing there seems to be no pattern to it.
Okay. Well, so what happened? When was the last time you ate? You had your flare up?
Yesterday.
Okay, and what did you eat a couple hours before?
I had grapes first thing in the morning.
Okay.
And I had just a couple of bites of some cooked millet.
Okay. Well, either of those can cause a problem, so that's good. Now you got one piece of information. Millet and grapes before you got your stomach pain. That's just data point 1. All right.
Okay.
You're going to have you continue doing your food diary. I want to know what happens, what you ate before data point 2, and I want to know about data point 3. Okay. So
I don't understand what you just said.
Okay, so data point 1 is grapes and millet, and then you had a flare up, right? That's
Yeah.
the first data point. The second data point is going to come maybe 3 days from now. Okay, you'll get another flare up, and the data point is going to tell you, and you're going to see what you ate, and that's going to be your second data point. So you may say, well, I had oatmeal and I had watermelon. Okay? So data point 1 tells us, I'm just hypothesizing. Data point 1 tells us you had millet and grapes. Data point 2 tells us oatmeal and watermelon. Then you go to, then maybe a week later you have another flare up, right? What did I eat a couple hours before? Oh, I had Cheerios and bananas. Okay, so we're starting to accumulate information. Now we see every time there's Cheerios, millet, oatmeal. I'm just giving you a hypothesis.
I understand.
Okay. Every time there's Cheerios, millet, and oatmeal, and there's watermelon, grapes, and bananas, I get a flare up. So obviously there's something.
It doesn't have to be the same food, but the same type of food.
It may be, maybe not. I don't know. I'm just telling you we need data points.
Okay.
You understand? Without data points, you cannot form a picture. It's called triangulation. You need to have 3 points to figure out where a phone call is coming from, for example.
Okay.
That's called triangulation. If you have 1 dot in the middle of your canvas, you don't see anything. But if you put 2 and 3 and 4 dots, a picture starts to emerge. You need data points. That's how you solve a problem. Doctors don't worry about that. Doctors will just give you a drug. But if you're going to do this thing correctly, you have to be a medical detective, and this is what a doctor should be. In order to solve a mystery, you need clues. In order to connect the dots, you got to collect the dots. You follow me, Mary?
Yeah.
So get some data points and give me a call back. We'll put this thing together for you. All right?
Okay.
All right, Mary, I got to motivate. I got a bunch of calls here. Have a beautiful day. I hope we helped you. Thanks for your call. All right, let's go to Gale in New Jersey. Welcome to the Bright Side, Gale.
Hello there, Ben. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. What's going on?
Okay, a customer of ours has the affects his ability of moving food to his stomach, and the doctor said it. I'll spell it for you: achalasa.
achalasa, achalasia. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like sometimes he might have to have an operation to stretch his breath.
Okay. Okay. Now that's does it happen with solids as well as liquids?
Probably solids more.
Okay, so keep them going on liquids first of all. That's the most important thing. Vegetable juices and bone soup. Also, beyond tangy tangerine, vegetable soups, as much liquid nutrition as possible, but make sure he's getting his fiber. You follow me?
Okay.
Okay, now, that's to get him nourished. Second, and that's a must-have, because if he's not getting food, he's not going to get nourishment, and that can cause problems downstream. So first and foremost, get him nutrition. Secondly, what else does he have going on? Nobody just has achalasia.
Yeah, that's the only thing that he said to my husband, so I don't know.
Okay, so you got to find out what else is going on. Again, just like with Mary, or with our last caller, we got to get some dots going. Otherwise, we don't have a picture of what's happening in the body. You follow me? It's not like you can't just approach the problem at the level of the problem. You got to form a picture to see what's going on in the big picture sense. You got to see what's happening in the body. 1 point doesn't tell us that. So you need to find out what else is happening. How old is this guy?
I think he's like 55.
Okay, so he's had a lot of time to muck up his body if he's like a normal person.
I don't know if it just started either, so.
If it just started, well, it might have just started to him, but something's going on underneath the radar if something just starts. Nothing just happens in the body unless you get hit by a bus. If you have some kind of bodily breakdown, it's guaranteed it's been progressing for a long period of time under the radar, stealth fashion. And this is why paying attention to your body can be so helpful. You'll notice these things. So anyway, achalasia is very rare. It only happens, 1 in a million kind of thing. Not quite, but it's pretty rare. So what you got to do is you got to figure out what else is going on so we can form a picture of what's happening in the system. Just the problem swallowing doesn't tell us anything. Okay, but in the meantime, get him on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, get him on the bone broth protein. If he doesn't have a Vitamix, get him a Vitamix because he's probably malnourished. And once you get these nutrients in his system, he's going to feel a lot better. You follow me?
Okay. Yes.
All right, and then let me know if you want me to help you. Let me call us back when you can get some other components to the process, some other data points.
Thank you, Ben. You're great.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye, Gale. All right, let's go to Angela. Angela, what's going on, Angela? Good morning.
Hello, Pharmacist Ben. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
Question for you, kind of similar to the digestive issues, but it's more of me trying to battle my adrenal/androgenic acne. And I know you always say
you're still dealing with that. Let me give you a couple tips real quick because I'm going to run out of time, okay? Number one, I've got an acne supplement coming out here in the next couple of weeks, Blemish Repair Complex. We've already been handing it out a little bit, and that's specially designed for all acne, but particularly for androgenic acne. In the meantime, are you on zinc 50 milligrams a day?
Yes.
Are you on vitamin A 20,000 IU a day?
Yes.
Are you using retinol?
No.
Get yourself my top retinol 5% gel. Are you doing selenium?
No.
Get on selenium, 400 to 600 micrograms a day. See if you can notice a connection between flare-ups and anything you ate, particularly sugars and fast-burning sugar. Fast-burning sugars will exacerbate androgenic acne. For the listeners, this is acne that's related to the male hormone system that appears on the T-zone. Angela, I'm out of time, sweetheart. That's some great ideas for you, but if you call back tomorrow, I can help you out some more. We're just out of time. I apologize for that.
Okay.
Thank you for your call. Androgenic acne, anybody dealing with T-zone acne, you want to suspect androgenic acne, and you're going to want to know about our Blemish Repair Complex, which will be out in a couple weeks. I'll be telling you all about that here in the next weeks ahead. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side, friends. Have an awesome, wonderful, beautiful, spectacular day. We'll talk to you all later. Bye for now.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on healthcare by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Norrie, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about healthcare. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join the Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
Can your vitamin supplements positively affect your blood in 5 minutes? Protovite can. Protovite is a genuine breakthrough liquid daily nutrition that delivers quality ingredients into your blood in less than 5 minutes. Scientifically proven and backed by clinical studies, Protovite supports energy, vitality, and optimal health. Watch our 2-minute live blood cell video and see for yourself at vninc.com/prohealth. That's vninc.com/prohealth.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Injury Help Desk is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisements. Services may not be available in all states. Attention prescription antibiotic drug users. Have you or a loved one suffered an aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm after taking the prescription antibiotic drugs Levaquin or Avelox? These popular antibiotic drugs have been prescribed more than 80 million times since 2004, and medical studies show an increased risk of the following injuries: aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, and abdominal aortic aneurysm. If you or a loved one used the prescription antibiotic drugs Levaquin or Avelox and suffered from aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-823-3851. 800-823-3851. 800-823-3851.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Earthquakes, political chicanery, extreme weather, impending financial doom. If you haven't gotten prepared, you're just not paying attention. You need emergency food, and you know it. You'll get the most emergency food for your money from Ready Supply Foods. Companies with patriotic names try to sell you 5 or 6 soups, some pudding, drink powders, and rice, but have only half of the calories you need to survive. You really want to try and live on that? Ready Supply Foods sells 23 delicious entrees with none of the empty calories. Enjoy stroganoff, pasta alfredo, primavera and marinara, chicken a la king, Hawaiian sweet and sour, and vegetable rotini. Those are just a few of our amazing menu items. You can buy from the other companies and eat like a peasant, or buy from Ready Supply Foods and eat like a king. We sell you twice as much food for the money than most companies, and it's much better food. Surviving a disaster is hard enough without worrying about starving to death. See how much more food you can get for your money at ReadySupplyFoods.com today.
Do you ever feel like you're being watched? Like someone or some company is tracking your every move online? I know I do. That's why I trust Private Internet Access VPN to keep me safe when I'm online. I use it to encrypt my traffic and use an anonymous IP address. Private Internet Access keeps your internet traffic safe from unwanted eyes so you can finally feel safe. $40 a year for peace of mind is a no-brainer. Sign up today at privateinternetaccess.com. Once again, that's privateinternetaccess.com.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on healthcare by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Norrie, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about healthcare. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join the Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
Can your vitamin supplements positively affect your blood in 5 minutes? Protovite can. Protovite is a genuine breakthrough liquid daily nutrition that delivers quality ingredients into your blood in less than 5 minutes. Scientifically proven and backed by clinical studies, Protovite supports energy, vitality, and optimal health. Watch our 2-minute live blood cell video and save for yourself at vninc.com/prohealth. That's vninc.com/prohealth.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Injury Help Desk is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisements. Services may not be available in all states. Attention prescription antibiotic drug users. Have you or a loved one suffered an aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm after taking the prescription antibiotic drugs Levaquin or Avelox? These popular antibiotic drugs have been prescribed more than 80 million times since 2004, and medical studies show an increased risk of the following injuries: aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, and abdominal aortic aneurysm. If you or a loved one used the prescription antibiotic drugs Levaquin or Avelox and suffered from aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-823-3851. 800-823-3851. 800-823-3851.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL.
By now, you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Earthquakes, political chicanery, extreme weather, impending financial doom. If you haven't gotten prepared, you're just not paying attention. You need emergency food, and you know it. You'll get the most emergency food for your money from Ready Supply Foods. Companies with patriotic names try to sell you 5 or 6 soups, some pudding, drink powders, and rice, but have only half of the calories you need to survive. You really want to try and live on that? Ready Supply Foods sells 23 delicious entrees with none of the empty calories. Enjoy stroganoff, pasta alfredo, primavera and marinara, chicken a la king, Hawaiian sweet and sour, and vegetable rotini. Those are just a few of our amazing menu items. You can buy from the other companies and eat like a peasant, or buy from Ready Supply Foods and eat like a king. We sell you twice as much food for the money than most companies, and it's much better food. Surviving a disaster is hard enough without worrying about starving to death. See how much more food you can get for your money at ReadySupplyFoods.com today.
Do you ever feel like you're being watched? Like someone or some company is tracking your every move online? I know I do. That's why I trust Private Internet Access VPN to keep me safe when I'm online. I use it to encrypt my traffic and use an anonymous IP address. Private Internet Access keeps your internet traffic safe from unwanted eyes so you can finally feel safe. $40 a year for peace of mind is a no-brainer. Sign up today at privateinternetaccess.com. Once again, that's privateinternetaccess.com.